Hi, welcome back to the channel. My name is Sam. In today's video, we are going to be talking about Biblios, a game designed by Steve Finn. So I don't have the box with me anymore because we've condensed it into a small little tuck box. But Biblios is I'd say a bidding push your luck style game, and I probably could end up doing the full rules overview, but how the game works is depending on the player count, you'll have a certain amount of cards shuffled into this deck. And at the start of the game, you have 5 different dice that will be placed on this board here, that each one will be set face up to the pip value of 3, as you can see by like the outlined die on the board. And so that will be in the central playing area for everyone, with all of these dice set to 3. And there will be this deck of cards shuffled, and there will be 3 different types of cards in there. And so you have money cards, which will be able to be used for bidding later in the game. You have point value cards, which will be for getting majority over a certain die color. And then you have adjustment cards, which allow you to manipulate the pip value of the dice out on the table. And how the game works is you will go around having someone be the active player, and you have the deck shuffled up in front of everyone, and so the active player will look at a card. I gotta sneeze, sorry. Phew. As I was saying, so the active player will reveal the number of cards one by one, equal to the number of players in the game plus 1, which they will do one of the 3 following actions. So if we were playing a 4-player game, the active player will end up looking at 5 cards total. So what they will do is they will decide whether it will go in face up on the table for the rest of the players to draft from in turn order. They will decide if they want to keep it or if they want to place it into the auction pile for once this deck runs out. And so for a turn structure overview, if I looked at this, it's the 1 of red. Maybe I'm not looking to go for red, so I'll put that to the auction in front. And then I look at this, and it's another 1 red. And maybe I want to decide, hey, I'm not going to go for red maybe this game. So I'll put that. And then we got a red 2. And so it's like, okay, do I want this? And then maybe I go for red later. I decide maybe I'll keep that red 2. So the last 2 cards I flip, one will have to go to the center for others to draft, and the last one will go into the auction pile, which we will end up bidding on later in the game. And so we look at it, it's a 2 green. I don't really want that to be into the auction, so we'll face it down. And now we've got stuck with whatever card we flip from the top of the deck, it will end up going into the bidding auction, which is a 1 green. And so from there, we have now claimed 1 card for us to keep. We've committed 1 card to the auction, and we have 3 cards in the center of the table for the 3 remaining players to draft from. So the player to my left maybe selects the green because they want to stick the other 2 with red. And so now at the end of the turn, everyone has ended up with an additional card, and there's been an additional card added to the auction pile. And so once you get through the deck, you'll be left with this auction pile. And so now you have the money that you've drafted in your hand to bid on cards that get flipped up from the auction pile. And so when you're bidding on, I guess I won't go into a full rules overteach, but that's a simple overview of a turn structure. And what I'd like to highlight today is that push your luck element of deciding which cards you want to, based on the fact that you can only see 1 card at a time. It's sort of that mind puzzle that you're in of like, ooh, I just revealed a 2. I've seen Sally across the table take a lot of blue, so I don't know if I can compete with her, but I don't want to give this to Sally to have her just automatically win blue because it's right now pip value at 4, and we didn't even explain what happens at the end of the game, but we don't want Sally to win the blue, so maybe we'll put it to the auction and we can outbid her later. And so there's that whole thought process of like the longer, like kind of trying to decide when you want to actually take the card you want to keep, because, you know, there might be a better card flipped later, or if you wait too long, you might end up flipping a 1 gold at the end, and that's not super appealing to keep as your own card. So that whole like sporadic thought process that you have whenever you're the active player is my favorite part of Biblios. And so I'd love to hear in the comments below if you even like the game Biblios and what your favorite elements are in the game as well. Hope to hear from you soon.